If you're the kind of piece of shit that steals from people who have cancer, I think we all know what you need to do. Welcome to the Evil Dojo. I don't know what the fuck you want to call this. Is this a podcast? Is this just a 20-minute video for the algorithm or whatever? I don't know. But there are several happenings that I wanted to cover, and the first, the biggest, that's hit my radar this morning. It's a story of a kid who suffered a brutal and devastating crypto malware attack under the guise of a seemingly innocent Steam video game. Someone managed to get a crypto drainer onto the Steam store and trick a unsuspecting streamer who has cancer into downloading and attempting to play this game, only to find that $30,000 worth of cryptocurrency had been stolen from them. That shit sucks. That shit fucking sucks. So, I want to do what I can to kind of get this story out to people, because it's super fucked up. As someone who's a fan of video games and someone who's a fan of cryptocurrency, not for these kinds of reasons, but because of technological potential, and also because, generally speaking, I'm a fan of helping out people who suffer from chronic illness or, some other debilitating disease, as someone who has my own kind of situation going on here. And I don't like to see people take advantage of other people. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what happened. What can we do to fix the situation or make it better? How can we achieve justice for this person? Because while I am not someone who knows the person personally, I feel like a lot of us want to come together and try to create a situation or a world where things are right. Because there's been a lot of fucked up shit happening in the world recently. And I think it's really unfair. And people who have some small ability to do some positive or do some good, I think if we add that up over time, we can outweigh the damage done by this incident. But first, we have to cover exactly what happened. Yesterday, a video game streamer named Rostaland TV inadvertently live streamed themselves being a victim of a crypto draining campaign. This particular spear phishing campaign is extraordinarily heinous because Rostaland is suffering from stage 4 sarcoma and is actively seeking donations for their cancer treatment. They lost $30,000 of money which was designated for their cancer treatment. In the Steam clip, their friend tries to console them while they cry out, "I am broken now." They were contacted by an unknown person who requested they play their video game demo, downloadable from Steam. In exchange for Rostaland playing their video game demo on Steam, or on stream, they would financially compensate them. Unfortunately, the Steam game was actually a crypto drainer masquerading as a legitimate video game.
That happened in the crypto. For you, I understand this can be very difficult because that money normally can help you for a lot of things in your life. But it's not the end, okay? You're such a brave person.
I'm broken.
No.
I'm
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
What an awful thing to happen to anybody. What an like that's kind of, this is why Evil Dojo exists, because we're not here to do evil. We're here to study it so that we can fight it, so that we can prevent it. That's kind of the aim of the game here. We're like Bayonet up in this bitch. We were born of the witchcraft, traveled the path of the dark arts, and now we fight for the light. And this kind of shit is like, who the fuck would do something like this to someone like this? So there's a GoFundMe to help out with their cancer situation, and I plan on giving what little money I'm able to give. So I hope everyone does as well. But in addition to that, it's time to start digging into exactly what happened. So there's this game posted on Steam called Block Blasters. Block Blasters appears to be a indie platformer game, kind of Metroidvania style. A lot of very basic, elements. This is probably something that I'd be able to make, and I'm not all that great at anything. So, like everybody's kind of taking a stab at the indie space lately. Everybody's got, a game on Steam, and their grandma's got a game on Steam. And I don't have a game on Steam yet. I'm only fucking with itch. But, one of the problems with a game software in general is that you have to trust it on your system. Like, a lot of people don't question this aspect of video games or development, and people often don't even think about security with regards to video games in general, which I think this is going to be the beginning of some very deep discussions on the nature of software development, as well as personal security, as well as developer-player relations and things of this nature. Like, how can a developer prove to a player that their game doesn't contain crypto draining malware, right? So, in the process of learning about this game, I check out the about page, I check out the reviews, I check out the system requirements. I haven't installed it myself, but VX Underground got ahead of me on this front, and they actually installed it and discovered something very interesting. I'll get to that in a moment. So next, I decided to check out the reviews. Now, I had this feeling I don't want to see only very positive reviews. I want to see all reviews. Not recommended, not recommended, recommended. So now I'm thinking that perhaps these games are also crypto drainers. Okay, so we got a not helpful right here. All right, so let's browse all reviews. Show negative only. The bugs get in the way of enjoying it. Enemy design is creative. Even the negative reviews have positive things to say about this implementation. So it would actually pay for a malware developer to be good at game development, right? Because if the name of the game from this angle is to get a convincing enough game onto Steam that runs some evil code on gamers' machines, then the more convincing the game, the more likely it is that you'll be able to convince and dupe people into actually running your evil software. So, bad game, controls not working properly. Every down arrow thing here has something to say about bugs. Okay, so this is actually someone from the VX Underground community. Proof Steam doesn't do any quality control for games released on their platform. This game is a crypto drainer virus that just stole $30K off a stage 4 cancer patient live streamer. The money was supposed to be for his cancer treatment. Look up the story, you'll find it. I don't blame the scammer, I blame Steam. Valve at this point is run by nothing but a bunch of complacent, money-hungry leeches. Fuck Gabe Newell, and fuck every Valve employee for allowing the company to get to this point. The positive reviews are botted. Yeah, this is the feeling I got. So this is actually the review that tipped me off as this being a scam, right? This game, even for free, is a scam. Block Blasters is a very generic Metroidvania with clunky movements, no variety of enemies, and only one level to play that you can beat in 2 minutes. The game crashes as soon as you clear the level. Moreover, the Steam page has a weird amount of positive feedback. I'm pretty sure the majority of the reviews are fake. Please stay away from this scam. And then someone comes up to this, probably because I linked this article on X earlier. This is a malware game, bro. That was the extent of the research I was able to do. But thankfully, VX Underground got further ahead than I did. So here's what happened. VX Underground decided that they were going to actually install the game and check it out. So check it out. Inside the source code files for the game, after you install it, apparently there's a windows.bat, which is short for batch file for automated scripting. And inside this script file right here, we got some cryptocurrency looking addresses and actually indicate different types of crypto wallets that you might be hunting for on someone's machine. So this is probably not the entire script, probably just like a little section of it. But chat, I'm not a video game developer, but this file looks strange. Why does this video game contain a .bat file that looks for your browser credentials and crypto wallets? That's a good question. Louis Rossmann needs to get in on this shit. This dude is all about user rights, like consumer rights. Yeah, Louis Rossmann, this motherfucker. I'm going to reach out to this guy because I think this story is going to be very important to him as well. Steam is not doing their due diligence in vetting games that are submitted to their platform. I wouldn't be surprised if itch.io is also not doing their due diligence, because it's like, this is not something that's necessarily easy to automate, especially when you have people who are capable of bypassing automated systems or creating files in a way that make them look innocuous to things like virus scanners or things like that. There is this kind of how much responsibility falls onto the store for allowing this evil, malicious, crypto draining product onto their platform. And it's a really interesting discussion point to consider how much, as I was saying earlier, there's a relationship of trust between a game developer and a player. You know, if I'm a game developer and I hand you a game and I say, I want you to play this game, it kind of comes with this implicit assumption that I'm not fucked up and evil and I'm actually giving you like a real game that I want you to play. And I've even had thoughts about this kind of thing. It's like, oh man, if I were a bad guy, oh baby, I could get so many people to play my stuff and I could do whatever the fuck I want to their computer. But this is the difference between being legit and being a fake ass fuck, you know, and the guys who made this game are fake ass fucks. They deserve to get their shit pushed in, if you know what I mean, in like the worst way possible, you know, like prison style. 4 or 5 dudes holding you down while one dude just fucking ass rapes your shit until you fucking bleed and die. I'm certain that, you know, karma has a way of finding people. Not everything deserves to happen to everyone, but when things get out of balance, the universe has a fine way of finding justice. I gotta get off in a minute, but you know, I think this is really important that people know about this story. Please do what you can and, you know, give some money to this guy. Help this guy beat stage 4 cancer because some dickhead crypto thief decided to rob a kid with cancer. Maybe they weren't targeting him specifically. Well, actually, you know what? They did. They did target him specifically. You know why? Because they actually messaged him on the stream chat asking him to play and offered him financial compensation. So they tricked him into playing this game in order to get him to run this, which is just another level of fucked up evil, right? Like this kid and any other victims that also suffered any sort of crypto ransomware from the same group were absolutely tricked. And I'm not about that. Not as a game developer, not as a security person. You know, none of that shit flies with me. And it certainly doesn't fly with VX Underground. It certainly doesn't fly with fucking Sam Bent. It doesn't fly with anyone with a fucking conscience. Like, I've had enough fucked up shit happen to me in my life that I'm actually starting to get like IRL pissed off about this. I don't want to see this shit any more than anyone else does. And a lot of people agree that we have a few things we have to do. Start a recovery fund, find an asshole did this and confront them. And also confront Steam about allowing this trash on their website. All right? I love you guys. Take it easy. Evil Dojo out.